Hello, my name is Miranda De Los Santos, and this is my presentation on explaining IDEA and the IEP process. IDEA stands for the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. This was created in 1975. IDEA requires public schools to provide a free, appropriate public education to students with a disability between the ages of 3 and 21. IEP, on the other hand, stands for an Individualized Educational Plan or Program. This is a roadmap that lays out the special education instructions, supports, and services a child with a disability would need. Parents and students are both involved in the IEP process. Parents play an important role because they are the advocates for their child, and they're the ones who provide the consent for anything related to their child. They're entitled to participate in meetings related to the evaluation, identification, and educational placement for their child. In addition, they can attend meetings that discuss FAPE, which is a free, appropriate public education, as well as a decision that is made about their child's disability, and the development and the revision of the IEP. Students are the primary stakeholders in the IEP process. They do not always attend IEP meetings, but when they do, they can provide things like introductions. They can introduce who their family members are. They can also introduce who the teachers are. In addition, they can also demonstrate some of their best work or portfolio. They can discuss how they feel about the modifications, the accommodations, and support they get from an IEP. They can even go as far as helping to contribute to some of their annual goals. When a student is involved in an IEP process, they tend to build self-advocacy skills, and they tend to have a more in-depth understanding of what their disability is. There are 3 parts in creating an IEP. According to IDEA, they include the referral process, the evaluation process, and the eligibility determination. The referral begins with a written or verbal request from either a school personnel or a parent, and this will determine if a child has a disability. IDEA states that a school is responsible in identifying and evaluating students who are suspected of having a disability, and the parents are responsible in providing the consent for the evaluation process. By the end of the referral, parents are provided with an assessment plan, and they are provided with procedural safeguards. Procedural safeguards are going to determine how parents will interact with the schools. From here, parents and professionals move on to an evaluation process. The evaluation process may begin once a parent has provided consent. Existing data is reviewed during the evaluation, and this must be completed within 60 days, which is roughly around 2 months. For parents to decline an evaluation, that could happen. They can also take their child to an independent educational evaluation, an IEE, and they can ask the schools to pay for that. Based on the IDEA, the evaluation process consists of a public agency using a variety of assessments and strategies to assess a child's functional, developmental, and academic achievements. The evaluation will provide information as it relates to a child's eligibility. After the evaluation, parents and professionals can get together to discuss the results. According to the IDEA, if a child is determined to have a disability, the IEP team must get together within 30 days to create an IEP. Parents have the opportunity to decide if they want to challenge the results of the evaluation. There are certain components to an IEP. The components to an IEP consist of present levels, annual goals, benchmarks, measuring and reporting progress, special education related services, including supplementary aids, some program modifications for schools personnel, the extent of non-participation in a general ed classroom, accommodations and assessments, service delivery, transitioning planning, and age of majority. An IEP and its components are meant to be a written statement that is developed, revised, and reviewed each year to determine changes that need to be made to the IEP. As teachers, it is part of our job to have an open-ended communication with school personnel, like therapists, counselors, things like that, and with parents to support the development and achievements of the student. This can be done through emails, phone calls, messages, and we can communicate what is going on with the student. We can discuss what seems to be working for them and what doesn't seem to be working and what changes need to be made. Through the quarterly IEP meetings, we can even discuss the progress the student has made based on collected data. As it relates to the IEP process, there are certain ethical responsibilities the teachers have to uphold the integrity of the profession as part of the IEP process. And they are: one, knowing and upholding the procedures, policies, and laws for the IEP, advocating for the equitable educational opportunities for students. Three, using appropriate assessments for the purpose for which they are intended. Four, upholding parents' legal rights as well as any legal requirements to reveal information related to the legitimate concerns for the well-being of a student. In addition to the ethical responsibilities, a teacher should also demonstrate respect, have high expectations, meaning they know that every student is capable of learning, fairness, personnel conduct, reflection, meaning they're going to reflect on themselves and see where changes can be made or improvement can be made, curiosity, and honesty. Honesty means being transparent with the parents and the student about the decision-making process. Overall, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it provided you with enough information with what occurs in the IEP meetings. So thank you for watching.